Oh, as my grandma would say, oh, for heavens to Betsy.
Heavens to Bets. It's episode 445. Sarah.
Feeling alive.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, you know. Mm-hmm, I can't complain, really. You can't. Well, I mean, you can. But I don't. I choose not to. Because we're just like trying something new this week.
Okay, yeah. We'll keep it positive.
Keeping it pause. Whatevs. You know?
Yeah.
Getting outside.
I can't believe I still have not really seen you since March.
Oh, my gosh.
Inside a building, at least.
Yeah, like we haven't touched.
No touching.
No hugs.
No caressing.
Oh my gosh, I miss the tenderness of your touch.
No Frenching. It's really been
tragic.
You wish. You wish. I do wish. I've always been like, hello, you used to be a lesbian. What happened?
Susie, you're the best. Oh, speaking of super hottie, you were looking good in that bikini the other day, Suze. You were
think?
Yeah, you were doing fit mom right.
Fit mom.
Yeah, I always feel like, because
and
I feel like, and I don't like saying that, but I feel like that's like our gift to the world. Like, look, I just made a child and I'm giving it to you, so like, don't judge anything about me after that. So I'm always so impressed, you know. I mean, however people's body looks afterwards, I think it's beautiful. But like,
it is.
You know, you actually put the work in and it shows. And I'm like trying to put more work in. So that's it. It's really, I applaud your dedication and routine.
Yeah, that's all that it is, really,
yes.
Is my commitment to a routine, which is really for my mental health.
Yeah, you're so right. And everybody says that if you were to bottle up what exercise does and put it in like pill form, it'd be the cure-all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it really is true. I'm not a cardio person, so I'm never going to really be that kind of gal.
Yeah.
But I just have my little things I do every day, and that's it.
Yeah.
But thank you. That's really nice of you.
Yeah, it's like the arms and stuff like that. Like the stuff where you're like, yeah, I should probably do some push-ups. Yeah.
Well, I'm not getting any younger.
Right.
And
it's great.
My God, it is a fascinating thing when your body like prepares to die.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Is that what we're doing over here? I thought we were just not procreating anymore. Which essentially is... Ugh.
Right. That's a death wish.
Remember we were going to be positive? What happened? What happened?
We're positive about ourselves, but we're very mean about everyone else, which I think is really healthy. No, but there are some people that do like... I don't know the official name for it, but it's basically extreme calorie deprivation.
Oh, my goodness. Who is this?
Well, yeah, it's crazy, but it's in an effort to trick their body into thinking that they are still really young. There's something about it that like, because you know how when you're underweight and stuff, you don't get a period, for example.
Oh, okay. Well, you're dropping hormone levels, I guess?
I don't know the science. I just know that there are people.
Well, I'm definitely judging these people, and only because I'm like, this is incorrect. And like the effects, the symptoms or whatever you want to call it of this far, I don't know, what is the word I'm looking for? Outweigh the bad outweighs the good.
Oh yeah. I can't imagine, but that's what some people believe it. I'm not into that. No, thank you.
No,
and my
in fact,
nightstand snacks speak to this.
Right, and I was just thinking, this is like I do not even care. This is the week of the carb for Sarah. And
yeah,
like,
baby. What do you have in pasta?
I had an apple turnover for breakfast, but with a banana, so like, you know, balance. And and then if you ask me like what I had for lunch, it was another half of an apple turnover. So there's that.
God, you were feeling it. Is it that pie you love?
Well, no, this was something separate. I still have not even dug into the pie I'm like, I don't know what I'm saving it for. I don't know. Maybe I like need an invitation from Ren to be like, yes, you can like cut into it now. Because now I feel like once I start, I might not be able to stop.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, it's like, it's going to be like that time of the month, like tomorrow or something. So.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. You know how people have cravings, and some weeks are carb weeks, and some weeks are like, oh, I want a fresh salad or whatever.
Yeah.
What is that about? Is it for real your body telling you what it needs, or is this just like a mental thing?
I have heard that it is certain deficiencies in vitamins. Like dark chocolate is a big one. I can't remember what it is that's in it, but there's... And it's like I think it's magnesium or so, I can't remember what it is. But, I know that I usually crave a hamburger. And I'm also very like on the, borderline anemic kind of area because, every time I go to give blood, they're like, no, sorry, can't take.
No can do.
And even when I go out and eat and then come back and they're like, still no. But anyways, so I think maybe there is something to that, but I am not a nutritionist,
Yeah, what do we know?
What do I know? I eat apple turnovers twice a day.
You had an apple vitamin deficiency.
I did. And that's got to be... But I have heard that there's a reason for why you crave certain kinds of, like, whether it's sweet or salty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What is it? That when it's sugar, you're looking for a dopamine fix. You're looking for, like, an endorphin rush. You're kind of, like fighting the sad feeling, maybe, and it's easier. Yeah. That's, like, why you picture, the woman who broke up, and she's, like, eating Ben & Jerry's. And then when we're looking for something that's more like that feeling of comfort and, like kind of that like nostalgia, like home, you eat the comfort food that's usually the salty, savory variety.
That makes sense to me.
So it's kind of like exploring like what's going on. So, maybe I should look into that. Why am I feeling like, a bummer? See, it's probably the hormones. It's the freaking period. So it all ties together.
Yeah, so eat it and it's fine.
Yeah, how come, question, now that we're on the topic, how come I am totally allowed to be like, I am emotional, I am on my period, but God help anybody else who says that to me.
For real? What are you judging them about?
I mean, I'm not judging them, but like, there's a 99% chance I'm going to get defensive to that statement.
Why? When they're accusing you of it. Yes.
What's that about?
I thought you meant you don't want them saying that they're having emotional.
Oh no! Please, God, say that. Yes, but I mean, like, why is that like a thing? I mean, it is.
Well, it diminishes your feelings.
Oh, it's the worst.
I hate.
I mean, nobody has said this to me. I'm just, I just play this in my mind. It's like because I know the answer, so then I like for why I'm like, oh man, that's exactly why I want. To what did I watch the other day? And I cried my eyes out like a freaking baby. Oh, but you know what? In my defense, it was really adorable and a tearjerker. The Rubik's Cube documentary.
Oh my God, I heard it's great.
Susie, it will just pull at your heartstrings like you don't even believe.
That's
or
what
maybe
I heard.
I'm just on my period.
Like, no, because other people wrote to me and were like, you need to watch this because it's about relationships and bonding and I don't know what else, but it was
you're going to love it. I think Lincoln will love it too. Like, I think. Yeah. And I think I think he's old enough to like watch it along with you. It won't be like riveting, but he'll see the friendship aspect. And I think it's cool to see them as little kids dominate this really cool.
It reminds me of the concept of, remember the documentary Spellbound about the spelling bee?
Yeah, but I never saw it.
Oh, it's kind of the same idea where they're excellent in this way and they work really hard and they want to be great, but it's really about, the community and
and you just see two of the like parent goals in this movie.
Really?
Yes.
Then I gotta watch it.
Shout out to the Park family. Mom and Dad, you guys are the shit. I love them. Mom is, she's a gem. She's a gem. You'll see it and you'll see, it's the best. You'll love it. As a mom, you're going to be like, yep, I would do just that. That's what I would do.
And
nothing
so.
less. Oh, just wait. It's so good.
Well, another thing that's really good is being able to stay at home and ship stuff without going to the post office.
Oh, my God, my favorite thing.
Stamps.com. We love it. I just shipped out a bunch of pins for our patrons who are at the $7 level. Our little MTV kind of logo WTF pins. Super cute. But I didn't have to go anywhere because basically you just weigh the item and you put it in and you print out the postage from wherever you are. and it can be for any letter or package or class of mail, anywhere it's being sent around the world. And then you just leave it for your mail carrier. It's so simple, easy.
And, you know those times? Here's this. This is like, that's like when you're like a real like well-organized like operating business machine like Susie is. Maybe you're somebody like me who's like, gosh darn it, I need one stamp. I do not want to walk all the way to post office. I have the sheet that Stamps.com sent me when I signed up where you get this amazing package with a whole bunch of like extra stuff in it.
Yeah.
And when I go to print stamps, it remembers where on the sheet it left off. So it's like, oh, you've already used the first 5. Here you go. Start printing right here. You can choose how many you want. Sometimes I print like 3 at a time because I'm like, oh, what if I lose this sheet? Don't want to lose that. These are things that so not only is it good for the responsible shipper, but for the irresponsible shipper as well.
And you get 5 cents off every stamp and up to 62% off USPS and UPS shipping rates. Right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus the free postage and digital scale without any long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Brain Candy. That's Stamps.com, and enter Brain Candy. All right. Well, I will put the Rubik's Cube documentary on my list.
And it's a quickie. It's like 40 minutes. Super fast.
Okay.
And it's great.
I was going to run through a bunch of documentaries I watched and just sort of give my takeaways.
I love this because
you need some recommendations.
Well, you know what Ren and I did? For no joke, 2 weeks, we did our own champion Jeopardy binge.
Yeah.
We have watched every episode available on streaming. Oh my God. I swear we're smarter or dumber. I don't know which about. We know more about less, something like that. So now that we are like maxed out, we need some background information on all this trivia. So we need some documentaries to watch. Susie, tell me what I need to see.
Well, I watched the Expecting Amy Schumer's pregnancy docuseries.
Oh, cool!
That was so fun to watch. I believe that's on HBO, and that was fun to watch. Maybe not so much if you're hoping to get pregnant, because it's a little bit of a horror story. Because you know how she had I forget what it's called.
Yes, hyperemesis gravidarum.
It sounds like Nemesis, but it's
hyperemesis gravidarum.
Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm. And she was barfing the whole time.
The worst.
So there's a lot of puking. So if you have a weak stomach, maybe don't watch it. But here's what I liked about it. She was very real about her experience, and that's not always pretty, especially during pregnancy. It was very cute to see her dynamic with her husband, who I didn't really know too much about besides that he was a chef and that he was on the spectrum. Mm-hmm. But I liked how during the course of the filming is when he was tested to be on the autism spectrum.
Wow.
And so they kind of grapple with that. And it's really lovely to see how getting a name for something can be so empowering.
Yes, it's so good. It is really helpful.
Yeah, just to know, this is a thing, and there are ways that you can work around it and tools that can help you cope and navigate the world.
A different, set of a different operating system to move about the world, and you just learn how to make that one fit.
Yeah, and how
with everybody else's, and that's so great.
Yeah, and he seems very sweet and just a perfect match for her. And he said, he always
I
felt
want to watch that. That's real cute.
Yeah, I think you would like it. And I don't know. Do you have a weak stomach though? If you see someone puking, does it make you puke? Because I know you puke a lot.
For the brief moment that I was pregnant, this is what I had. My record was 20-something times a day, so I am fine. I have no weak stomach and watching it. It's like I got.
That's my life, right?
I got it. Fine. The only thing I'm not okay with are chunks. And when you have this, it's not chunks. It's just a lot of dry heaving. So that's fine. It's the bulk of the vomit I'm not okay with, mostly for the smell. Why did you need to know that? You probably didn't. But since Susie was asking.
Oh, God. Okay. And you know what else I really enjoyed was you probably watched the special that debuted while they were filming, which is the one where she's pregnant. It was on Netflix. I think it was called Growing or something.
I didn't.
Oh.
I think maybe I saw a clip of it and somehow, I don't know if I got distracted or somehow I didn't end up watching the rest of it. I have to go back and see.
Well, she does a whole bit in the act about how her husband had painted her pottery, like at one of those pottery places.
Yeah.
And instead of just sort of coloring an existing piece of pottery, he painted a portrait of Amy. And wasn't joking, but it was so bad. And she puts it up on the screen behind her, and it's the biggest laugh of her whole act. And it was so interesting to see his reaction to that. And their conversations afterward and his sensitivity about it. It was so
my God,
moving.
my heart. Oh, gosh.
Well, because obviously he knows she's a comic and he is a great sport and knows that he's funny in this way that he doesn't mean to be. But they she's on stage performing it, but the camera is only on him. Watching her tell the joke.
Oh, my gosh.
And there is just no reaction. And then at home, they have like a fight about it. And it's really moving to watch.
This is, I love this kind of stuff. See,
yeah, because it like normalizes relationship ups and downs.
Yeah, I would like a little, yeah, that is really beautiful.
What don't you like?
Well, I was just thinking about how different the red table thing with Will and Jada was.
Why? Tell me.
Did you see that?
No.
Oh, no.
I mean, I know
about
a
tangent,
it,
but you know, I just feel like it was. To me, it looked like a lot of emotional gymnastics to like hide parts of relationships and like what people really grow from and what people really love and respond to and like. Embrace.
Do you feel like they weren't open?
It's weird. I don't even know what to feel. I don't even know. It just feels like, you know how you tell me like when something doesn't feel right, you don't have all the pieces.
Yep.
That's what it felt like. I just was like, I'm missing pieces to this puzzle that I need somebody else to fill in for me. And Ren and I both watched it, and I was like, do you have the pieces to this puzzle? And he was like, hell no. So we're both like, huh?
Right, because some of that story is not for the public.
Right.
But they tried to tell the story anyway.
In public. And it was just
so it's incomplete.
Huh. Yeah. And then I hear something like this where it's like a fight and just very raw, very emotional moments that, you know, to some would feel like embarrassing or not, maybe embarrassing is the wrong word, but very like intimate. And how people really feel good when they see that. If you are somebody who chooses to be in the public eye, like I just love that. I love that they as a couple, that Amy Schumer was brave enough to do that, and same with her partner. I don't know what his name is, but that he was brave enough to do that, and that they're. I'm sure I haven't even seen it, and I'm saying all this stuff.
Now
but I can just tell
need to see it because
that they're probably helping a lot of
it.
couples because with that honesty.
Well, and she said, if you don't want me to include it, I will remove it. Like she was very respectful about his feelings as well.
I'm sure. She seems like that. She does not seem like one who's like exploitative and you know.
And so that was interesting to watch because don't you always wonder that when a comic tells jokes about his partner, you wonder what goes on behind the scenes in terms of deciding about that.
Yep.
So that was interesting. Okay, so that one you should watch if it's appealing to you.
So good.
There was also another HBO documentary called Showbiz Kids about child stars. Did you see that one?
Ooh, no.
That was interesting.
Tell me.
Well, you know how I'm sure this will not be a surprise at all, but you know, different people have different experiences, and that's kind of there's a lot of ingredients. It depends on your family life, depends on your sort of basic personality. It depends on your particular set experience on a TV show or movie. There's a lot of ingredients there.
Ren and I were debating Britney Spears versus Ariana Grande the other day.
Okay, what'd you come up with?
Like, I said apples to oranges.
Yeah.
Because of parenting.
Right.
You know, that I think we're going to see Ariana Grande, like, I feel like she has a good support. I don't feel like she's being exploited, you know.
Okay. So you feel like that's a big factor. And we've talked about that with like Lindsay Lohan too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parents' stability and yeah.
Well, because I'm sure there are some parents who do push their kids into it who otherwise maybe wouldn't do it, like the stage mom or stage dad thing. Mm-hmm. But then there's other kids who really thrive in it. But
Yep.
You know, it just depends. And it was just fun to hear about their experiences and why the awareness that people may be living off of you, like you're benefiting your family. And so then you might stay in it longer than you would otherwise because there's pressure there.
Absolutely. As a child, and then you recognize that. You see how things were, what things were like before and after. Oh, you need they need therapists too. Give them my card.
Right, because I bet you on set, they only probably have the tutor.
They only have the tutor. And as a child who was on set every now and then, that tutor doesn't care. Mine didn't.
Well, it's like bare minimum.
My commercial tutor was like, that was like a friend of the, you know, ad agents or friend of the casting department who like was a teacher who was subbing and this was her time off or something. Like I swear, checked out. I'm sure some of them are great. This is not, hashtag not all set teachers.
No, yeah, right. But there's also the thing of like, you know how a lot of kids will tell their parents, I want to be on TV, I want to do auditions. And they really do. They want to do that, but they don't have the tools to understand what it means when you're 7 and you have to go to work.
Yes. Oh,
like, God. That's a different thing.
Yeah. But then there are those children who do have that. Oh, my gosh. Ren and I were watching America's Got Talent, like Top 15 Countdown, because we were staying at a house where they had cable, and we haven't had cable in like a million years.
That's cute.
We're like, oh, my God, look at what's on. We're like, and then we were laughing. We're like, commercials are hilarious. Or make you feel like you are sick and dying. There's no in between. They're either so funny that you're like laughing out loud, or you definitely are dying of a terminal illness and need whatever medication they're providing.
Right, everyone's sick.
Everyone's sick. But anyway, to get back to my point, as we're watching this, the best acts were these children where you're like, oh, that's it. You've got that. That is something where you can like see it. You can tell that they have that thing that is that unnameable star quality, and they need to perform. And that's like their you know, the language that they are speaking to the world in. And those kids want to be there.
Yeah. I mean, I always told my mom, you know, I want to do that, but maybe I would feel differently if it was like, oh, and it's a 12-hour day, and oh, you're going to be in these uncomfortable things with people that maybe are questionable. So there's a lot of things you don't know as a kid that you might encounter.
And maybe your friends might not be as nice to you as you think they will be after you're on television and you gain a little bit because, like, I think that's a thing that kids who are on TV experience.
Well, how funny is it that after I watched it, I followed the Henry Thomas, who was the kid in E.T. Uh-huh. And then I saw that he watched my story and I about died. So I was like, oh my God, I would have put up a better fucking slide if I knew fucking E.T.'s friend was going to watch it.
Oh my God.
And my husband's like, isn't that fun? And I'm like, no, because he didn't follow me. He watched it and was like, no, thank you.
Oh, no.
That's worse.
We got to get you better stories. What's happening over there?
Oh, my God. I really dropped the ball, Sarah. That's
it's okay. Bo can come over. She's really good for material. People love her shit.
Oh, my God. I need better pet content, maybe.
Pet content kills. We could definitely play Will Bo Eat This.
I did see the Insta story you did recently about your Sunbasket meals.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. I did not even know that there was the option until I went and ordered, because I was familiar with Sunbasket that I had been ordering for a while, and I was already set with like the meals that I was making myself. But then they introduced me to the new ones that are, guess what? We already did all the prep work for you. Right. Just throw it in the oven. My new favorite. It's so good.
Because if you are working late,
buttered chicken, come on.
I got the hoisin steak strip lettuce cups. Oh my God, so good and fresh.
Yes, and if you are working late, this is the answer because that's what I do. I see clients after they're off of work. So, that's when, and I think it's good to have evening sessions, but I also think it's good to be able to have time to eat, and this way I get to do both.
Yeah, you can order any meals across their menu. You can skip a week whenever you want. It's simple, it's easy, there's no gotchas, and it's fresh, clean ingredients, organic produce. I just love that, and I love that you can take a break on those days and not prep and clean after these huge meals that, we're all sick of cooking right now.
Sick of it.
Right? So this is a great way
cleaning.
To eat healthy.
I don't have to do any dishes.
It's so easy
it's all
right now.
Compostable and you just throw it right away.
It's so great. They have a deal for you guys. Sunbasket is offering $35 off your order when you go right now to sunbasket.com/braincandy and enter our promo code, which is braincandy at checkout. That's sunbasket.com/braincandy and enter promo code braincandy at checkout for $35 off your order. Sunbasket.com/braincandy and enter promo code braincandy.
I mean, I can't begin to tell you, describe the amazing feeling when I didn't realize that the butter chicken that I ordered came with no prep work. That it was just I couldn't believe. That's like somebody saying, hey, you're going to make this dinner and it's going to be great. And then they surprise you and say, guess what? You don't even have to make it. I'm just going to make it for you. You just sit right there.
It was like a surprise party.
Yes, it was. It's a little things these days. So there you go. Treat yourself.
Okay. Another documentary that is bonkers was on Netflix. It's called The Family Affair. Holy. I mean.
What is that?
Is a story of a woman who I actually thought was like friggin' 70 years old, but she was 95. And she looked gorgeous, so stylish, so beautiful. She had used to be a model. I guess it just fucking lasted her whole lifetime. God bless her. But her grandson is the one making the documentary, and he's sort of exploring their family dysfunction and different traumatic things that have happened in the family. And during the documentary, she laments the fact that she's his grandmother and wants to bang him.
What?
She wants to bang and be with her grandson.
What is that?
You might be thinking, well, she's 95, maybe she's senile. No. This lady, for real, I thought she was 70. She was all there, and she clearly has that thing where you disassociate or whatever because you, for whatever reason, she never kind of accepted that she was a mom or a grandmother. And she kept alluding to how she missed being, when you age and you lose sexual capital. And I think when you're a model and when that's the only thing you have that you think you have a value, then you can't accept it. And I think she loved her grandson, and that's the only way she knew how to show love, man.
Okay.
Yep. Sarah.
Questions.
Yes.
First of all, if this were reversed and it were a male, I would just about flip my lid and...
Good point.
I would want them locked up. I wouldn't even care how old they are.
So, spoiler alert.
Okay, so there you go. Spoiler alert. Then...
Maybe I should take that out. Should I edit that? I'll edit out the spoiler.
Oh my God, you're editing out the spoiler.
What if somebody watches? They won't want to know.
Yeah, I will want to. Yeah, you can edit that out. That's funny.
Okay.
So Susie said a spoiler, but we edited it out, so it's fine.
Okay, go ahead.
So if you flip that around, that'd be weird, and beyond weird, not okay in a million ways. Here's what I think. Okay, I shouldn't say here's what I think is happening because what do I know? I haven't watched the documentary. I have no information whatsoever. What does my opinion matter? Zero. But my questions.
Yes.
What was the relation? So it's he this is his grandmother. It's his mom's mom or dad's mom?
Dad's mom.
Okay. I knew that. Mm-hmm. It's his dad's mom. Mm-hmm. I think that if you held up a picture of her ex-husband and this young man, that there would be a resemblance.
Yep.
Would I be correct?
I think you're right. They didn't show, let me think. I don't think they showed him, but he abandoned the family.
Okay. There you go. I don't even need any info. I know it's so.
He abandoned the family, and the kids, the dad and his brother, were sent to basically an orphanage or a children's home.
Okay.
And maybe she was trying to replace him with her son and or grandson.
And none of these things are conscious. She's not going around going, I need to find somebody who looks just like my. It's not like that. It's like, it just is just pieces of the puzzle, I guess. And there's a lot there, and that is very. And I think that disassociating thing, you're like that is a very interesting. I wonder how she has him refer to her.
By her first name.
Okay, that makes sense because you have to. Interesting. Does this give you creepy incesty vibes?
For sure.
I hate movies that do that or documentaries that do that. What's the one that was the most painful one of all time? The one I hate it. It's with the aliens, but they're not aliens, and the kidnapping and the. Come on, Suze.
Oh, yeah. The one about that guy that kidnapped that girl.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, Suze. Know exactly what I'm talking about. My very cryptic and totally nonsensical description.
I don't recall the name, though. I don't recall.
But, about the next-door neighbor who kidnapped in plain sight.
Yes. In plain sight.
In plain sight. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and...
That was so hard that was hard to stomach.
Well,
even though there wasn't
any
incest
case
in that,
where
but that was
the parents were so stupid, but I bet you it's not altogether uncommon where you're trusting of your friends and stuff. But anyway, in this case...
Yes. It just gives me the same creepy feelings just thinking about it. That same kind... But it's and so how old is the guy who's doing this?
30. The grandson.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I know. I'm twice your age. And he's like, you're three times.
You're 3 times.
And my grandma.
So how does he respond to it?
He just treats it like a documentarian would, where he's sort of like, well, why? Why do you feel that way?
You can't just, he himself is, you can't just not internalize, or not just ask yourself some questions in that. Not like he's doing anything, but that would be weird to subject yourself to that experience for the sake of movie making.
Went into this project with the intention of bringing the family dysfunction to light. I'm sure he sort of assumed that risk.
Okay. This is, I have to see this. This is fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's so many, even without seeing it, there's so many layers that if you're seeking to bring family dysfunction to light, and you're making a documentary out of it, that means there's a lot of shit to work with.
Yeah.
So this is not probably out of the,
When you have to see it, now I'm realizing all the ways that you would relate. Like the dad who suffered the trauma of going to that orphanage for a couple of years and all that. He became a psychologist because of the same reason that you say many people go into that field, which is to sort of explore their own trauma and all that jazz.
I got to know what happened here. And
So you have to watch it and let us know what you think, and you guys need to watch it too.
I can't wait. Suze, these are so good. I could talk to you for 5 hours without even seeing them. So
well, everybody definitely needs to see how awesome the selection of bras is with Third Love. Am I right?
My boobies feel lifted and comforted just thinking about them.
I know a lot of people thought we could just burn the bra, but sometimes we need them. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to wear one, you want one designed to fit to you. They have over 80 bra sizes, including those half sizes that everyone loves. And they have a perfect fit promise. So if you don't love it within 60 days, you can always return it for free. But they make them with memory foam cups, no slip straps. There's no scratchy label or anything like that. It's just really nice.
And they're sexy.
Very pretty, yeah.
You get to sit around the house feeling comfortable and also beautiful.
Yeah, what's not to love? You should go online and take their Fit Finder quiz so you can see if you're even wearing the right size to begin with.
Probably not. I wasn't.
No, right, probably not. And they know there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now they're offering our listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/brain now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Next up on the old agenda here is, let's see, is that all of them? Let me see. Look at my notes here. That might have been the ones I saw. Wait, no. I saw
the documentaries. I was like, that. Well, I got stories for you if you're out. No, you have materials for days. We're just talking about documentaries here.
One more that I watched was called About Face, and it was about the modeling industry.
Oh, interesting.
I liked that one just to hear what goes on and how they got into it and all that stuff. One thing I thought was interesting that I wanted to note was that they were interviewing Christy Brinkley, who, she's still so stunning. And I think she's 60 or 61 now. And just a beautiful lady. And she said for the last 25 years, people have referred to her as a former model, even though she's worked the entire time.
Oh,
and
my God.
I think that is so interesting.
Oh, my God, because she's basically a model, but not in she's like
you think she's expired.
Yes.
So you refer to her as a former model.
But really she's just formally 18.
Yeah, and I can't think of any other industry where you would call someone a former whatever
while they're
when
still
they
doing
were still working. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's a fun game to play because there really isn't anything that you could no, because that's what you do. Could you imagine former basketball player?
Right.
But they currently play for wherever.
Right. I mean,
that's
still
hilarious.
Works.
She still works. So why she still is a model.
Yes.
Oh my God. I love those. I mean, and I think it's something that we need to have out there way more is models, like women who are older, like
absolutely,
like elderly models, like those women who are models at that age. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. I think they're like, I want to see those women. They're beautiful.
The thing. And this is why people talk about representation, because the people that are making the decisions are people, usually men, white, straight men.
Yeah.
A lot of times
heard of them.
They might be older, but they are going to assume that everyone wants to see a 19-year-old in all cases. And that's just not true.
No, it's definitely not true for women. Remember when you told me this so long ago, I'll never forget it ever for the rest of my life. You asked me, it was about online dating, and it was at what age, when they polled people between the ages of 18, like the entire demographic, everybody, they asked men, what age do you find women most attractive? And no matter what age you asked men, they all said 18.
Oh, my God.
You told me this.
I remember what you're referring to. I'm just getting mad again.
Yeah, you should definitely be mad again. And then with women, it was different. It was like 45 to 50.
The peak for men in attractiveness was 53, I think, or something like that.
Yeah,
mid-50s.
Yeah.
And the peak for women was 18.
And it was what you can provide versus what you can provide. And it's like sex or security.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yep, you're expired. So, ladies, sorry to break the news to you.
But see, that's so stupid and so bullshit because that's 50% of the population are women and we want to see that.
Right.
I want that beautiful woman with gray hair. And I love that there is a new trend of women just letting their gray hair grow or dyeing their hair gray. I saw a woman walking down the street the other day, and I was like, oh my God, I want my hair to look like that when I have gray hair. And then I realized that she was just somebody who was like 40, but like dyed her hair to look gray. And I was like, yes, yes. And it looked really good. Yeah, and she had a cute short haircut, and I was just like, oh my God, yes.
I really admire that, and I do wonder what is inspiring them to do that, because it does feel like it's more common now for women to like grow out the gray, or at least leave some parts, like the front, gray.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into it. Yeah, let's make wisdom sexy, please. And if gray hair represents that, I am all for that.
Yeah, men look great.
And now that I have a couple grays in here,
now you're representing.
Yes.
Who did you see doing that? The Maori twins?
I don't know who they are, but
Tia and Tamara, sister, girl.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know who they are, but I just didn't even think about that we were pulling out that reference. I was like, is this some, like, no,
it's just because I saw this week that they're both growing them out, but one has way more gray.
Really? Oh, yeah. No, I totally saw this on, like, a white lady walking down Cambria. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, that looks like a really funky dressed old lady. And then she turned around and she was like my age and maybe a little bit older. And I was just like, yes, that looks great. And you look like, and yeah, I just liked that. And actually, you know what it made me think is like, I was like, I have no idea how old she is.
Right.
And I kind of liked that. Like it made it so she was just beautiful and attractive, and it wasn't like, oh, because she's young or because she's old. She was just like an attractive human.
A person
in, you know, her natural, well, unnatural, because it was like dyed to look gray, but I was into it.
Well, maybe she was. Are you sure that it wasn't just premature?
No, because she had roots that were darker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
I know.
Well, we support you if you're doing that. I am not ready to do that, and I might never be, but...
And I support you in that. But your hair's going to turn, like, white, so you're, like, fine.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I like your optimism, though.
Yeah.
There was a great article in Atlantic. They have a series called How to Build a Better Life, and it was about success addicts, people that would rather be successful than happy.
Uh-huh.
So interesting.
And now how are we defining successful financially, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Or just,
then.
you know, landmarks in their career, too. Like, you know, promotions.
I want to be yeah, okay. I see.
And, like, they describe how this is like chasing the wind, of course, because it's not like you reach that apex and then you're satisfied. You want the next thing.
Right.
But they were talking about this study. A physician found that more than half of aspiring athletes would be willing to take a drug that would kill them in 5 years in exchange for winning every competition they entered.
Oh, my God.
Half.
That's shocking.
Right.
No, okay. Ooh. Like, I feel like they need to be, like, really sat down and, like, talked through this. Like, do you understand that you're saying, like, those kids you have, never going to have a dad or mom. They're gone.
Oh, my God.
Not here anymore. You're willing to do this to win every single thing again? That asks a lot of questions about...
Yeah.
That poses a lot of questions about...
Well, because it's about their value. If they see winning as the only thing they have of value, it's similar to thinking beauty is the only thing you have of value.
And so it puts worth in something that is it can disappear and not about the person, or it's what you... I don't know, what you do, not who you are.
Yeah.
You know? And what you do is not who you are. It's a part of that, but it's not all of that.
Mm-hmm. And this was like trying to point out, like, the goal can't be satisfied, and most people never feel successful enough. And that even when you do hit that goal, that the high only lasts a day or two and then it's on to the next thing. They call it like a hedonic treadmill.
Yep, a hedonic treadmill that you have a base level for happiness.
Yeah, and it wears off almost immediately, and then...
But I think we're negatively labeling that. I think we should just... if you were to look at that, it's motivation. Because I say, what's the absence of that?
What's the absence of ambition?
Yeah.
Yes.
And where that's not happy. There, you have to find a balance, and I think if you, like, relabel it, it helps.
Well, I don't think ambition is... necessarily the problem. It's the addiction to
absolutely
those milestones.
Yeah.
And like successful people are almost invariably jealous of people who are more successful.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, think about yourself.
Yes.
Like
that's
we all can relate to that.
Right.
But if you believe that you are what you measure, which is like kind of a rule of business, like what is success, as you said, like what does success mean? If you measure yourself only by the worldly rewards of money, power, prestige, you'll spend your life running on that treadmill.
Yes.
But I don't know. It's just interesting to have it.
Absolutely.
But I mean, but people kind of know like that. Happiness comes from faith and family and friendship.
Yeah. But I think
we still fall for it.
And I think that sometimes, especially, you know, I found in grad school and even just with the friends that I hang out with, that a lot of the people that, you know, just because this is the kind of people that go to grad school and pursue these, like, that they're, like, in that, you'd almost say, not never satisfied, but, okay, did this, what's next? Like, I want to learn more, I want to know more, I want to, like, and it could feel very much like you're chasing the wind, or you know, I know for myself, it's like, okay, well, now what? What else? What's the next bar? What happened to grades? I need somewhere to, like, you know, mark my success and whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But if you look at that as a negative of like, man, I'm never satisfied, then it can feel like a real downer. But if you label that feeling of like never being satisfied as ambition and like, and say that and be like, that, you know what that feeling is? That feeling is just me wanting the next thing, and that is what motivates and drives me, and I will get that next thing. Then I feel like it gives your brain the permission to like stop worrying about that allows more balance in your life. You know what I mean?
And if your value as a human being doesn't hinge upon whether you actually achieve the thing.
Oh, very good point.
You know.
Very, very good point. Yes. And that, yes, absolutely. And you have to be able to recognize where you have, yes. And this is more for like the box checkers. Yeah. Than the people who are like, if I fail or if I don't succeed, I'm nothing. This is more the people who are like, okay, I checked all those boxes, now what? You know, who can be very hard on themselves. But somebody who's like, I have to succeed or I'm nothing.
I'm worthless.
Then we got to go like, let's work on identity stuff.
Yeah. And I suppose it's about really looking at yourself and being like, where do I fall on that spectrum of ambition or goals or whatever?
Man,
and knowing,
I can't believe that rate is that stat is so high.
It did say aspiring athletes, so maybe they were, you know, teenagers, and teenagers aren't great at
right. And like they can't even think like 2 years in the future.
Right.
That's one of the hallmarks of being a teenager is a like underdeveloped like prefrontal cortex and the ability to like
understands consequences.
Yes, that's totally it. So shocker, they gave up, you know. Yeah.
Still though, I thought it was funny in the study where it said, you know, they would win any competition, whether they entered like a beauty pageant.
Oh my gosh. Thumb wrestling.
Yeah, right. They would win. I mean, I don't think that's worth dying for, but...
Yeah, then that makes me wonder, I have to talk to the parents, and why are we instilling the values that the only value lies in whether you win or lose? That's not... Which is why you will love the Rubik's Cube movie, because that is the opposite of what these parents are driving home.
What are they driving home? Like, what's their message?
I don't even want to give it away. It's too good.
Oh, okay.
It unfolds because it unfolds beautifully.
Okay. Yeah,
and that part is it's like when I watch that movie, in fact, I might watch it again with Ren and pretend like I didn't even see it and be like, oh, let's watch this, because it is exactly what the doctor ordered for right now.
You're not capable of pretending like you didn't see it.
You're correct. I'll be like, oh my God, watch this. He's going to be like, this part that you've never seen before. I'm like, yeah, I just think it'll be really good. I just have a feeling. You're so right. I'm so incapable of that, but that's hilarious to think of me trying to do that.
But I will say you do a great job at not revealing spoilers, which apparently I am incapable of.
This is true. Look at me. Well, that's because part of my job is being a locked box.
I know, I hate that about you.
I love keeping secrets. It's like my favorite thing.
It's the worst. It's the worst thing about being your friend.
That always makes me laugh. But your secrets are safe too, Susie.
I don't even have any good ones.
I know. And if you did, they'd all be, we'd talk about them on here, so.
Regardless.
You crack me up.
Okay, before we go, I'll do a little thingy that I read in Smithsonian Magazine, which was about the invention of cotton candy. I don't like cotton candy. Do you?
Neither. I really don't. Not at all.
It's so dumb.
But I'm so glad that we're talking about it, just so I can repost one of my favorite videos that you've ever taken of me when we went to Saddleback or Saddle Ranch, whatever bar, and they had cotton candy there, and I shoved like half of it in my mouth. And then you captioned it "Diet Starts Monday," and it was so funny. And I just think about that every time somebody mentions cotton candy, because you really do bring it. Like that cotton candy brings out the kid in us, whether it's through eating it or videotaping it. So please tell me.
Yeah, because it's a food, but not really. It's edible
not at all.
Hilarity. Yeah.
It's edible. It's novelty, the whole thing.
They were talking about how, they were just talking about how it came to be and how it's made and all that jazz, but I liked hearing what it's called in other countries.
Oh.
So its original name everywhere was fairy floss.
Which is way better. I knew it was floss.
I know. It's adorable. Yeah, because in Australia it's still fairy floss. In Great Britain and India it's called candy floss.
Oh, candy floss. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah. And it said in France it's known as the French equivalent of Papa's beard, which is adorable.
Oh, cute. It does look like that.
And in Greece it's called old lady's hair.
I like that.
Also accurate.
Because sometimes old ladies make their hair purple, in which case it looks even more like cotton candy.
Totally.
Yep.
And then people around the world make intricate cotton candy art. Who knew? They make shapes like cartoon characters and stuff like that. Yeah, but I don't get what the fuss is about.
No, I don't either. And recently on Instagram, in one of those BuzzFeed tasty kind of things, I saw them making a cotton candy pie that looked to be about the least apt. Well, I mean, you're going to go into a diabetic coma if you eat it. That's for sure.
Well, is it just cotton candy with a crust?
It's like cotton. No, it's like cotton. Of course, you have to explain, because what I had to even watch. I was like, what? I still don't understand. They take the cotton candy and then they press it into layers, and almost like you're okay, you know how when the cotton candy's fluffy, if you squeeze it, you can almost make like a ball out of it.
Yeah.
So imagine if they instead of making a ball, they made it into they took cotton candy, they whipped it up, it's all flossy, and then they flatten it out so it's like a pancake. And then they layer all those pancakes together. This is essentially layers of sugar That's it. And then they topped it. I'm going to send you this video. And then they topped it. I'll just post this. A lot of people, I'm sure, are like, oh, yeah, I've totally seen that. And then they top it with like ice cream and whipped cream and a bunch of other stuff. I know just all these desserts only exist for Instagram videos and for social media videos. I know that. Same as all that unicorn. Like, nobody really wants to eat all that. And like, oh, my God, your mouth will be blue for like a month. So
yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I will say there was this I'm going to read this to you. So apparently, and I kept rereading it and thinking, I can't be reading this right. Okay. They were saying that the cotton candy machine, it's a specific physics sort of situation where they heat the sugar and whatever. It says that there's a study published earlier this year that reported that an adapted cotton candy machine was able to make a 3D system of artificial capillaries, like your heart, in your body, that were able to keep living cells going for more than a week. And how weird is that, though, that a cotton candy machine could have medical benefits?
Interesting. Because really you're like, and it'd be interesting to know if the tubes are of sugar are hollow or if they're solid.
Right, what's going on in there?
Because then that makes me think, because really all you need is a strong enough material that doesn't break down in water, and you could pass something through there. You're making really lightweight strings. It's kind of like you're doing what like a silkworm is doing, it feels like.
Yeah, because it says the machine can be used to build a network of strands made of hair gel-like substance that allows tissues to develop close enough together to thrive.
Oh, okay. So you're using the cotton candy machine to create like a netting, like a web that allows that where it's thin enough fibers, but they're close enough together to where something can grow on top of it and then start connecting. Wow.
Because like, you know how simple organs like bladders, you can grow in a lab because there's not a lot of like complexity, but certain tissues of like kidney or heart, they don't have a way to make them like they really are. So maybe the cotton candy machine will be able to do that.
Oh my gosh.
I did not see that coming.
Who knew? And here we are poo-pooing the cotton candy pie.
Well, maybe we can retire.
Why wasn't that the first dessert item that they made in space? Not the stupid cookie with the crumbs. Sorry. Whatever, what is it? Doubletree.
Doubletree cookies.
Sorry, the cotton candy one. You should be setting that up there so we can start with that, like, spacey chamber where you put people in that cures them and it like does all the surgery that I see in every single sci-fi movie.
Right, and
it's just a cotton candy machine with a few additional attachments.
Yeah. What are you making cookies in space for?
Come on. Ugh.
Jackasses.
Man, just let us run NASA or something.
We got this.
We got it.
It's not like it's rocket science. Oh, yes, it is. All right, people. That's all I have for you today. There you go.
There you go.
Saving lives with cotton candy.
Mm-hmm. Tell a friend.
Oh, there was this thing on our Facebook group where they said that they are freaked out when we say goodbye too quickly.
They're like, what? We can't. I know about this. They're the lingerers. They're the same kind of people who are like I am this person. Like when I go to therapy, like I can't leave. I have to God. And I do it at your house too. I'm like, okay, what else? Because like this can't just, what if it's bye forever?
Too final.
It's too final. So we're just like, until next time.
Yeah, they want us to wind down.
We have to wind down. I totally get this.
They listen in their cars and they don't pay attention to the amount of time. And then all of a sudden we're like, isn't that interesting? They're going to make organs out of cotton candy machine. Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, so guys, pull in to your driveway.
Yes.
Just start
think about what we've learned today.
We need it. This is like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
We need to
wrap it up.
Yeah. This is like when I sip the last sip of coffee or wine, whatever. Mm-hmm. And we just, talk about how it's been real fun. And
it has been
so much.
Been real fun. We learned about incest.
Yeah.
And we learned about, men who are on the spectrum that are married to comedians.
Real funny. I would like to leave you with a little teaser for next time that Susie's article, a last little story reminded me of. Since you mentioned organs that grow in places other than inside the body, I think you know what story I'm referring to, Suze.
I sure do, Sarah.
And we'll, continue with that next time.
Can't wait to talk about that wiener. That arm
Susie,
wiener.
you're the worst at spoilers!
Oh, sorry. I'll bleep it. All right, people. This is goodbye, okay? But we'll be back. It's fine. Don't worry. Bye. Bye.